and then later on made over 6 figures, 7 figures, or even 8 figures, became best in their niches, and found their dream customers to sell. My name is RJ Ahmed, and find this all out in our Interviews with Entrepreneurs show, where I interviewed these entrepreneurs and tried to pick their brain of how they actually did that and how they took their business as well as their life to the next level. This podcast is all about the entrepreneurs who strive so hard to become super awesome in their niches. Welcome to Interviews with Entrepreneurs. Hey, welcome to Interviews with Entrepreneurs show, where we interview entrepreneurs who are super awesome in their niches. And RJ here back. And today we have a great guest. And especially if you are in ClickFunnels community and if you are on the affiliate side of ClickFunnels, you must have got emails. You must know about that person out there, especially if you're into affiliate side of ClickFunnels. And today finally we got him. So we are going to be having the one and only Ben Harris on the show. Hey Ben, thank you so much
My mic-
for thank you so much for getting on the show. Like I'm so excited to have you.
yeah, man, I appreciate you asking. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to dive into a couple of things and chat.
Awesome, awesome. And guys, like if you are jumping on live, you can simply use hashtag live. If you're jumping on replay, you can simply use hashtag replay out there. Again, Ben, thank you so much for hopping on. Could you tell us a little bit of a backstory of you, how you got started into the space, and how everything shifted up for you?
Oh gosh, hopefully I don't talk for too long. It's kind of been a wild journey, and for me, in my path, I guess into I'm not sure. I guess you could say the internet or online marketing was. I actually used to sell on Amazon back in 2015, and I had my own line of supplements. And we at one point were the top rated, or one of my products was the top rated pre workout in the United States for about 8 months. And we were top 100 in our category, and kind of things were moving back in 2015. And in 2017, I had actually sold that business. Really, along the same time, had stumbled across a book we probably all know called .com Secrets that
Yeah.
I somehow was targeted. I think I used to be a huge Dan Kennedy fan, and I've just digested everything Dan Kennedy's ever wrote. So I think at some point in time, I think he just was mentioning this wonder kid named Russell Brunson who was doing some really big things, and just I got hooked, man. Completely was mind blown. Like I've been doing everything the wrong way this entire time. Um, and it was kind of a weird, I don't know, I guess maybe paradigm shift, but it wasn't really wanting to, I guess, start and build my own funnels. In my head, I was like, you know what? Whatever I've got to do to work for this guy, I've got to figure it out. Like I've got to meet the right people because I had zero connections. I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And really kind of, I guess you could say the stars really aligned because there's a guy who's been a mentor of mine for quite some time that had helped me with Amazon and doing some other things, but he was a inner circle member for Russell, and they had an opening for tech support. Literally, I was like, okay, well, if I need to learn everything about this software and how to do it, I learned a lot by teaching. So I was like, if I could just get my foot in the door, I know I can make a difference. So anyway,
Absolutely.
he had sent out a couple of emails, put in a good word for me. I begged Mark Bangeter, who's our head of tech support, to give me a job. And about a year and a half later, I was able to go from tech support. I joined our coaching team. Worked with Brent and Sarah and everybody that's over there with our 2 Comma Club coaching program, and they got an opportunity to move out to Boise and work with Dave and Brent still, and doing a lot of our partnerships, our Dream 100s, but really kind of primarily with our affiliate team and our affiliate program, and what we're trying to do to grow that and to advance it as really this company grows and we go for the next step. So kind of I guess the truncated version, but kind of a lot of things fell into place, and I'm fortunate.
Absolutely. That is absolutely a great run out there. If you started out and however you become a part of, especially of ClickFunnels team and community, is, absolutely a crazy deal out there. Just putting a foot in the door and, just getting into it. And then, you reach to the point where you want to at that particular time. So, what you feel internally, that was the transition that you felt, from starting your own business, and once you went into ClickFunnels, like how was that transition feel up internally, that you felt like, okay, that is something that I felt on the personal basis, on the professional basis. Since you said people didn't knew about you, now you have so many relations with the people out there, the audiences and rest of the stuff out there. Like anyone who is in the ClickFunnels community, especially on an affiliate side, they knew who Ben Harris is. There's a lot of a transition that happened. So what was the thing that you felt from inside, the internal change, that okay, that was one of the best decision I've made so far?
Sure. I think it was really just something, wanting to be a part of something that's so much bigger than myself. It was really the impact that I saw this brand having and what it was able to do for other people's lives, and I wanted nothing more than to be a part of it and to join as I had seen that they were still a young company, and just a lot of opportunity to not only grow but learn. Obviously, they say who you're going to be in 5 years comes down to two
Yeah.
things, right? The information that you learn and the people you surround yourself with. And that's when I just jumped on this opportunity to be out here in Boise so quick, because I wanted to be surrounded around everybody every day. And I think over the past year, a little over a year now, it's been such an incremental, just a quantum leap in growth and knowledge that I've got to have just around things you wouldn't really think of. And maybe for me, it's because I've never really been a book smart, I guess, right? I was not good in school at all. But for me, being around people and really seeing the decisions that they make every day, see how they interact through problems, through things that go right. It's something that I learn and like to lead both, just through examples. I think that especially when you're with a team, it's just such a great way to learn, and really being around. So that's really what I wanted to do, RJ, was make sure that I was involved. So who knows what happens in the next 5 to 10 years. I don't know,
Absolutely.
but I know that this will come back in my career to impact me in a great way.
Yeah, that is absolutely awesome. And after also, like, I got into ClickFunnels community out there, I didn't knew, I'm from a tier three country out there. We don't know
Mhm.
that cities or the states of the United States, but once we got into ClickFunnels and we know about Boise, and I always call, and that is also the fact, I think so. Boise is the next Silicon Valley out there.
Yeah.
The type of the community and the things we're building up in Boise is like absolutely insane thing. And you just talked about, and I want to discuss about that stuff as well, since that is a thing we also talk about a lot whenever, and like anyone come up, we talk about the concept of Dream 100, which is absolutely one of the craziest concept out there. And ClickFunnels was, it was Dream 100 was the foundation of ClickFunnels completely. Russell Brunson did that, and it was crazy. What do
No
you think?
question.
What do you think is the number one mistake that people make when they are started to do Dream 100 out there?
Yeah, great question. I'm happy to dive into this. I definitely would think that a lot of people, and Traffic Secrets dives deep into this too, the book, but you've got to do your due diligence and your homework. And what I mean by that is, this is the biggest mistake that I always see. And I mean, to be honest, everyone makes them, right?
Yeah,
I've made it myself too, but to really not know who the people on your Dream 100 list are, right? It's easy to make it. Okay, you can do it in one afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 days to go, and then you start teeing off on people, but to not really know what's important to them and what drives them. And it was one point where I sat down and someone was asking me, they're like, oh, such and such, like, what's their why? And I was like, huh? They're like, what? I mean, what makes him tick? Like, what? And I was like, I don't know. And it was a huge like wake up call for me. That's like, I'm not doing my homework. And what I mean by that is to really know about them, what they like to do, what their kids' names are. Do they love their pets? What do they do on the weekends? Like, you need to know what someone on your Dream 100 list was doing last Friday night. You do. And I don't mean that like a stalkerish type way, but to do your due diligence and your homework. So you're joining their email list and you're following them on every platform of social media. Because some people, especially in the e-commerce world, might really love Twitter. Like they can be super active on Twitter. Some people might be very active on Instagram. So you need to know that and then set up your notifications so they're always pinned at the top of your feed. And like Russell says in Traffic Secrets, and it's true, I time block every day to go through our Dream 100 list and to go through social media to see what they are. I'm not on Facebook to see what somebody from my high school made for dinner last night. Like I literally get on Facebook once a day to see who in our Dream 100 is updating their stuff and who I'm friends with on Facebook that is or it's much more than 100 people, but in the ClickFunnels Dream, 1,000. To know that, I think it really comes full circle and it'll click when you're in conversation with somebody and something comes up that's relevant to them, what they did with their family 2 months ago that you remember. Or if they somehow reference something that you can chime in on, like, oh, I remember that episode. It was great, especially when you talk about X, Y, and Z. They're going to be like, okay, this guy or girl knows their stuff, right? They pay attention to what I do because that means a lot to people.
Yeah, this is absolutely true because there are some of the things that people messed up, and sometimes they don't even realize, that they have messed up some sort of a things out there. Because if some guys realize out there, I have made some sort of mistakes out there. Because even if we talk about Russell Brunson, you have like a lot of people who target him for Dream 100 out there. If anyone out there consider, go there and say, hey, I'm your fan, there are like millions of fans out there. When we talk about Russell Brunson as well, you need to have some sort of a thing that you outclass other people.
No, absolutely. I'll give you two examples with people who targeting Russell and send stuff to our office all the time, man. All the time. Like there are just truckloads of things coming to our office. And for one, as you know, Russell is part of the Latter-day Saints and he's Mormon. And some people will come and they'll ship a bottle of wine to the office. It's like, if you knew he was Mormon, you would not send that because they don't drink alcohol. Russell does not drink alcohol. So sending him a bottle of wine is completely irrelevant. He's like, all right, like this is nice, like, very nice gesture. Thank you. But doesn't really mean anything to me. Secondly, we had Josh Forty, who one time sent Russell an old, like it was a vintage Book of Mormon. I think that he bought off eBay. I don't know how much he paid for it, but nor do I know much about the Book of Mormon, but according to Russell, it was an extremely rare, find that really Josh had gone through a lot of effort to get that. And he knew about Russell's personal life because he pays attention to his content, and now, Josh, speaks at our momentum events. He does a lot of things with ClickFunnels, and that's how he was able to get his foot in the door by doing something that's very thoughtful like that. That's probably one thing too. Like people are not thoughtful in their outreach. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. And yeah, Josh Forty is, talking into the momentum masterclass. And the way that he did the Dream 100 was absolutely crazy. People always think about, as you said, people think about, even just giving gift is one sort of doing Dream 100. But as you said, if you don't know what you're giving and you don't know how to give, then there are some sort of a rare chances you will end up, have some sort of a relation with your Dream 100 out there.
No question, man.
That totally makes sense. So apart from that, right now you're working as an affiliate manager for ClickFunnels, which is absolutely crazy. And I consider personally as an affiliate marketer like ClickFunnels one of the best affiliate program in the market. Because ClickFunnels is providing everything out there that affiliate marketing can provide. So like when we talk about everything out there that ClickFunnels is providing, and you see over the top that what's happening in the ClickFunnels world, why people don't able to promote ClickFunnels successfully? What happens? What is the mistake that you think they are making up and they are avoiding making sales on ClickFunnels itself?
That's awesome. These are great questions, man. I appreciate you asking this stuff. So the biggest mistake that I definitely see is people are not interested in building an audience. And I'll kind of dive into that a little bit, is when, and the purpose behind like this content creation, right? What things like that you're doing right now, you're building an audience, right? You're building your fan base that, it's sort of like the Gary Vee, like jab, jab, right hook is a lot of people, because they want quick wins, right? They don't want to they don't want to do it. And I was just talking to one of our top affiliates yesterday, actually, who's going to be coming into our Facebook group to do some interviews and some things like that. And it's funny because he was like, dude, he's like, I mean, I'll come in and do it. I'm happy to teach and everything. He's like, but I mean, I've done it before. And I literally share exactly how to do it. He's like, people are just lazy and they don't want to do it. He's like, but I'll come in and say it again. I mean, but it's with building an audience, it's not going to happen overnight, right? You can attest to that. And I think that a lot of people, they want to post on their Facebook that they're selling a product, buy here. Guess what? Nobody's going to buy. And if you keep saying that, within a couple of weeks, you're probably going to have no more Facebook friends left because everyone's just going to be annoyed by you. But it's really discovering the benefit of the benefit. And I think that I'll dive into that too. I don't want to go on too big of a rant here, RJ, but really they don't build an audience because they don't even know who they're selling to. So within ClickFunnels, it can be sold to a lot of different people. But unless you identify a sub niche within ClickFunnels, like you want to go to car salesmen, realtors, other people trying to sell affiliate products, trying to sell a physical product, selling mouses online.
Yeah.
I also jammed my finger, by the way. I wanted to address that because I know it looks so weird if I'm like moving my hands. But not really knowing who they're selling to, so they don't know what type of content to create and they don't build an audience. So you have to create content to build an audience and then you sell to that audience. You don't just sell, right? It'll never work. And I think a lot of people come in and they get discouraged and burnt out because they're not following those steps. And when you don't, it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, like people need to understand that one thing, that when we doing affiliate marketing is the best business model initially, not only initially for start, people making full-time, money with affiliate marketing. You have top affiliates like, Spencer Meekham and other people, which is absolutely, the only thing they're doing is affiliate marketing. But the main thing which is way better in affiliate marketing is you're creating your audience, as you said about that. That is the best way to create your audience, so that in the future, if you're selling some sort of a product out there, you can go and sell your product because you already have your audience built up, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing, dude, is that like you're not going to, which I mean, you should, but sell ClickFunnels forever, right? But you're building your audience so that at one point when you do have your own business, your own products, you now have an existing audience you can then tap into.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
OX Ahmed. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, man. We love you a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
that's when you're doing things right, bro.
Yeah. Haters keep coming, Okay, so apart from that, right now To Come a Club Live is happening again, which is which is absolutely crazy thing, crazy event out there. It happened last time, it went awesome, and it's happening again. It's again going to be happening awesome out there. And I also saw the video by Russell Brunson where he was talking about the top tools that he was using to make using ClickFunnels productive as a part of a virtual stuff, which was absolutely crazy. Like how that pandemic affect you are able to manage so well, because I didn't feel like that something happened, something went down with ClickFunnels itself. It didn't happen because you guys have handled it so well that it didn't feel like and even virtual, the Two Comma Club Live was so good out there and handled like way too well, way too well. So why and how it happened, and how that transition like happened up, but you didn't messed up any time.
So you mean from like making the transition to virtual events? Is that your question?
Transition the virtual events and successfully. That is also important thing.
Yeah. So I mean, really kind of back to the point we were just talking about. I think that it was be able to jump and do well successfully, and even this next one will be as well. We actually sold out last night of tickets, but I think that really having that existing audience to tap into, because we've done so much in the past. It was sort of emails that go out and you run some ads and we're able to sell out. So that's kind of crazy, but really making that transition to virtual events. And I know I don't want to speak for our event director, Miles. He could, really provide some great insight here, but it's been an interesting shift of how you can take, really, I'd say the greatest thing about events is just like the people that are there. Obviously there's some sort, I don't mean this in a weird way, but like nostalgia, right? When people are, into everyone that is a like-minded individual in the same room, there's like some sort of magic power that's there, and when you're there, you feel it. But the next best thing is the content, right? And the
Yeah.
information you're able to learn. And so we were able to take that and really replicate it and kind of have it in a virtual event. And Valiant Studios here in Boise, Idaho, they have a really cool setup, and able to, I mean, kind of mimic it in the virtual world. But and Miles and his team, they were super creative with being able to have breakout rooms within, like within Zoom, and they had, I'm sure you saw the Instagram stories, all
Yeah.
those laptops lined up, and everybody being able to go in there and still, like, make connections. And even with going to Two Comma Club Live, if you don't leave with 10 names and numbers, contact information of maybe people can help you, then I think that you didn't really take advantage of all the opportunity that was there. But Two Comma Club Live, and we're going to do more of them in the future, but it gives you a lot of flexibility, and it also gives you the opportunity to reach more people. Funnel Hacking Live is capped, right? You just can't fit 20,000 people in a room. Kind of the same thing with a storefront, right? That's down the road for me. They can't sell to as many people as I can sell to on the internet, right? Because it just broadens the perspective. So virtual events bring that too. So I think that's probably the neatest aspect of it, is how many more people you could potentially reach and sell to. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely makes sense. And apart from that, I want to ask one last question before we round the session up, because it was like absolutely mind blown out there to see every experience out there. What is the next thing for you? What's the next step that you're going for, and like what's next for Ben Harris?
What's next for me? Um, we're growing the affiliate program, man. It's Operation Takeover. So we've got a lot of goals set in place, of what we're going to be doing, and really how we're going to be doing it. So that's like, launching new products, new offers. We're going to be creating a lot more different types of content in the affiliate group, more interviews like this, and some really cool things. We're going to be having some more teachings, some more instruction of really helping people, make money online. Like, it's just the coolest thing ever, right? We're just such geeks, but I love it. And so I guess, yeah, man, what's next for me is you'll see this affiliate program really kind of grow and flourish, and continue to be the best one out there. And I'm really, really excited to see, your growth in that as well.
Yeah, that is absolutely, and definitely will do that stuff. And yeah, and let's see how everything turns out with ClickFunnels over the course of time. A few days back, it was like sixth year of ClickFunnels, sixth happy birthday of ClickFunnels out there, which was like on September 23rd, I guess, if I'm correct.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see how everything turns out. I'm also so excited for that. And anything that you want to say before we round this up?
I would say anyone here who is watching, and you're thinking about diving in, you're considering, even kind of toying around with it. You can get started with no money. It's not
Yeah.
anything like that. But I would definitely follow a lot of RJ's content. I would listen to what he says. I would definitely. So I'm getting a call coming through. 1 second, and I'm back. I would listen to a lot of RJ's content and his instruction and his teachings, because a lot of stuff, and I guess content, again, that's out there is available at your disposal, that you can use to personally profit and flourish. So, and RJ, what you and I were talking about before we run live, from a Dream 100 perspective, I want to let you know you're doing everything the right way. And I definitely, your efforts did not go unnoticed. And I know you and I had to change schedules a couple of times, and it was because I have a full-time job, right? So
Yeah.
with respect to ClickFunnels, a lot of, when I do things like this, it's always, before or after work or on the weekends, because I can't really do this, during, midday. I've got a jam-packed calendar. So I sometimes have to switch it around, and I appreciate your flexibility and your follow-up as well. And, I can't wait to see, your continued and future success, man.
Totally appreciate it. And yeah, like it was something that was so important to get things done. And I truly understand all of those time zones. And even though it was like 5 a.m. on my side, I was like, I don't have any type of issues. We will get it over. So
Yeah.
that was the kind of stuff out there. And where can people find about you?
Right here. I mean, join the ClickFunnels Avengers Facebook group. You can just search me, Ben Harris ClickFunnels, on Instagram or Facebook. I'm kind of on both. At Ben Harris Online is my handle, pretty much across everything. So we're gonna start doing a lot more content, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't miss out.
Awesome. And guys, like I will put up the link in the description and in the show notes down below for ClickFunnels Avengers group, and also Ben's profile of Instagram and Facebook. And again, Ben, thank you so much for hopping on our show. It was like quite interesting things out there that we discussed. And thank you so much.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.